I'm a fire starter, a twisted fire starter. Hey guys, Zoup here, and that's how I feel about the Tier 10 Russian cruiser Moskva. I think those of you that commit to the grind are going to love the ship named after Moscow. Before I get to the down and dirty, let's look at some stock stats on the Moskva, brought to you by ShipComrade.com. Sporting 65,400 hit points, the Moskva can take a beating. Like her lower tier siblings though, he's weak on the back half of the ship. It has a max speed of 34.5 knots and a turn radius similar to that of the Exxon Valdez. 3 triple gun turrets fire 220mm shells. HE sports an awesome burn rate of 17%. Do yourself a favor on this ship and take the Commander level Skill 4 Demolition Expert for an extra 3% burn chance. Generous anti-aircraft ensures that aircraft carriers will avoid you as they do most of the other high-tier Russian ships. One thing you'll notice about the Moskva is it doesn't carry torpedoes. It doesn't really need to, so no loss there in my opinion. So, about that Moskva. The ship itself is very graceful and looks very much like a post-World War II design, which it is. The Moskva sports the look that most Russian warships would take on until the end of the Cold War. I found that the ship, on account of its hit points, speed, and size, feels more like a pocket battleship, or battlecruiser. When you look at the stats of the Des Moines, you can only feel sad for the Tier 10 US cruiser that has a stock 50,600 hit points, 15.8 kilometer stock gun range, and 203mm guns. The burn probability on the Des Moines is even less than that of the Moskva as well. So what does this mean? It means that the Tier 10 Moskva was built to dominate, and that's exactly what I did in the first round I played in it. Keep in mind I played her fully upgraded, maxed out in nearly every category. The final product is nothing less than a deadly piece of war machine. I started this video off with the song Firestarter, and there's a reason why. The HE on the Moskva is deadly. In the round you're watching, which will play in its entirety, I had just shy of 90,000 fire damage alone. This ship was designed to melt other ships to the sea. With a maxed range of almost 22.5 kilometers, I could easily and accurately fire at ships like the Yamato, setting it on fire, only for the battleships at that range to fire back and miss. This is partly on account of the generous speed of the Moskva, which again, at 34.5 knots, is faster than the 33-knot Des Moines. I did try using the AP of Moskva. In this round I used it on a Hindenburg. Like the other Russian cruisers, landing a Citadel will yield a somewhat disappointing amount of damage. I was better off keeping the Hindenburg on fire and letting the burn run its course. And that sums up my views of the Moskva's main armaments. You can use your AP, but you're better off using your HE almost exclusively. I found the damage to be comparable, and with the generous burn rate, you can't go wrong using HE almost exclusively. When you set a ship on fire, panic normally sets in, especially if they have already popped off their repairs. I'd say if you're within 12 kilometers of another cruiser, switch to AP after you set the ship on fire with HE, but you don't really need to. HE will still deal adequate damage. The guns are accurate and the ship is fast. The stock Hindenburg and Des Moines are comparable to each other. The Moskva appears to be in a league of its own. I really didn't find a major weakness to it, other than its rear armor, which is susceptible to massive damage. With the accurate and long-range guns of the Moskva, you really don't have to get up too close and personal to do damage, and can easily play in the role of a battleship escort, protecting battleships from aircraft with your devastating AA. Your speed allows you to keep up with faster battleships like Iowa and North Carolina. Of course, your radar provides valuable anti-destroyer capabilities as well, so you can push with the DDs as long as you don't push too far, too quick, finding yourself surrounded. Honestly, the heal consumable may be a little too much for the Moskva, and there needs to be some way to balance the ship. It's basically a mini battleship with hit points similar to most Tier 7 and 8 battleships. Overall, Moskva is a phenomenal ship. As I said earlier, if you stick out the grind, you'll be rewarded greatly. I'm going to let the rest of the round play out, but I finished with over 180,000 damage caused. Not bad for a first round of any ship. That's a testament of how well he plays. Best of luck with the Russian cruisers when they come out. They won't disappoint. Stay tuned for more reviews, Help an Ensign, and real warship genius. Zoup out.
starboard. Torpedoes astern. The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Main turret critically damaged.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Torpedoes to port! Torpedoes to port. Critical engine damage. Waterline. We're flooding quickly. Problem solved, sir.
Enemy battleship foundered.